Now, to better understand what we mean by information here, it's useful to take a moment and look at a slice of CAD history. Originally, CAD was 2D and essentially mimicked the pen and ink process used to create blueprints. Even in early CAD, however, we had the concept of a block. Blocks were simple 2D representations of graphical objects. For example, here's a set of blocks that provide 2D plan and profile representations of a water source heat pump, which might be used, for example, in an HVAC installation. Now, as CAD technology expanded to 3D, these blocks evolved as well to be three-dimensional. The 3D CAD block could provide a better visual representation of the real-world object, and this continued to get better as software to create realistic image rendering was adopted. The next stage was to associate some of the information with the block. This might include, for example, data on the manufacturer, the model number, and the cost of the object. Now the pieces were in place to begin to model the cost of the project and the material schedules. What's next? Well, our water source heat pump has some physical connections for things like air input, discharge, water supply, return, and power. So an intelligent heat pump CAD object should only allow connection of intelligent ducts and pipes. So, for example, you shouldn't be able to connect a power wire to a water supply fitting. At this point, we've moved beyond the old concept of CAD blocks and into the realm of objects that have associated data and intelligence. Today we can go even further. For this heat pump, the manufacturer's specifications go beyond physical dimensions and connections and include the behavior of that pump and the limitations of that pump. So with this type of information, not only is it possible to model the physical nature of the heat pump, but one can model the entire HVAC system to determine, for example, if the heat pump is correctly sized. With this type of data, we can not only determine if the components like heat pumps are acceptable, but we can begin to optimize our systems for best energy performance and lowest operating cost. So back to the first question, what is BIM? In today's CAD design marketplace, it's commonly used as a shorthand way of talking about advanced model-based design. But BIM is potentially much more than model-based design, because while model-based design is really focused on the design part of the life cycle, BIM, building information modeling, has the potential to be useful across the entire project life cycle. This is going to be the entire focus of the third chapter in this book.